Who do you think is the most underrated Phoenix Suns player ever?
Sean Marion.
That's a good one.
Leandro Barbosa.
Leandro Barbosa is a good one.
Oh, you wanted me to like elaborate on Sean Marion?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sean Marion was actually like an elite all NBA type defender. He was a great rebounder, solid shooter. He can score when he needed to, but he was kind of that glue guy, like that Draymond, like for another team, which is kind of that guy that came in, did all the little things, the dirty work, the grunt work, while still being like he was an all-star caliber player, like Andre Iguodala was for Philly. But he chose like he was able to take a back seat or heighten his seat if you needed him to. He asked you to anything you needed him to do, he'll do it. So I like Sean Marion for Phoenix. And even before Steve Nash got there, he was like a 22-10 guy with elite defense. So Sean Marion was a dog.
The player I'm going to go with is Goran Dragic.
Ooh.
I think Goran Dragic learned under Steve Nash, and then in the 13-14 season, he averaged 20 points per game, 6 assists, and that Suns team is one of the better Suns team is one of the better teams to never make the playoffs. They went 48-34 that year, and they finished as a 9 seed. I mean, this year that gets you in the playoffs as a lock.
That's what we needed to play in.
That's literally this year's Sacramento Kings, and they missed the playoffs.
And you know who was their coach? Jeff Hornacek.
Yeah. I was just about to name him. I was like, man, it wasn't him. But that team was good, man. It was Goran Dragic. You had PJ Tucker there.
Green.
They were a really fun team to watch.
Man, this is a great question. We've got 2 Suns. I don't want to steal the thunder of both players. The first guy I think of is Kevin Johnson, because in the 90s, the point guard position was a little bit weaker. I feel like KJ was just walking 20-10. And he was not one of the best shooters by any stretch of the imagination. But I mean, 9 assists for his career. We don't talk about Kevin Johnson as one of the most underappreciated point guards of all time. And I remember back when he was in Cleveland, he was backing up, what's his face? Mark Price. That was 2 all-star point guards. Then he got moved to Phoenix for Larry Nance. So that was a really important wrinkle of Suns history.
I'll go with Raja Bell. Raja Bell, those mid-2000 teams, you know what I mean, with Steve Nash, Amari, those guys, 3-point sniper back in the day. So
Kobe. I hated him because of that. I hated him. I like Raja Bell, but I hated him as a young Kobe fan. I used to be like, this motherfucker. But I love the 7 seconds or less Suns, so I get it, man. I think
one more guy that doesn't get enough credit just in NBA history or like just in the power forward conversation, Amari Stoudemire for Phoenix. You know, I thought
about him.
Yeah, when we talk about like Chris Webber and Pau Gasol, like the big men, we always seem to forget Amari Stoudemire was a dog, like
MVP candidate.
Yeah, and when he went to New York that first year, he had that shit dreaming. They was like, yo,
he did.
Him and Raymond Felton, he was going crazy. Melo about to come. It's about to be a dream. Until he got hurt, unfortunately, but Stoudemire was a dog.
Underrated son too that came to my mind. Jason Kidd, blonde hair Jason Kidd. They was going to the playoffs. Him and Penny Hardaway.
Is that when he won co-rookie of the year with Grant Hill? Was that
no? That was with the Mavericks.
Okay.
That was with the Mavericks. Yeah.
And the last guy,
him and Nash got traded for each other.
Thunder Dan Marley, one of the best two-way players in the 90s. He made 2 all-defensive teams, one of the best shooters of the decade. We don't remember him, but he was one of those dudes in the 90s.
His ass is weak. No, I was just playing.
The Suns have a lot of great players that kind of like flourish in different places. Like Sean Marion won a finals with the Mavericks. Then you have Joe Johnson, who became an all-star level player with the Hawks, and he's somebody the Suns probably should have kept. Yeah, they have a lot of good players, and 7 seconds or less era was definitely interesting. Leandro Barbosa won 6th Man of the Year in 2006.
Barbosa, man, he was a big force in that Mike D'Antoni offense. Quentin Richardson with threes.
Jason Richardson. We can't forget about Jason.
He was a little old, but yeah, Jason Richardson.
Yeah, he was a sniper when he got there.
Channing Frye, Shaq. Remember when Shaq went there with that team?
That big ass. That was when Shaq was fat. Fat Shaq.
Yeah, that was
big fat Shaq. Yeah.
Now
Stephon Marbury.
Yeah.
Stephon Marbury, yeah. They got they traded.
Remember when they had Marcin Gortat for a little bit?
Yep. Gortat and Nash. Yep.
Robin Lopez was solid for them. Yeah, they had a lot of good players.
Actually, how did Stephon Marbury get to the Suns?
He didn't get drafted there?
No, he got drafted to
Minnesota.
the Timberwolves.
It must have been a trade. I don't know.
He requested his trade and he got traded to New Jersey? Or did he get traded?
Yeah, it might have been he got traded to New Jersey, and then the Nets traded him to the Suns for Jason Kidd.
Boom.
It might have been like that. Yeah.
There we go.
That's how it went.
Voila.
So John, you have some trivia for us.
No, we cannot move on. This comment, shout out to him. Boris Dehls. We are petty as hell.
Oh,
Boris
shit.
Dehls.
No.
Boris Dehls. Good call.
Yeah.
One of those
Silent.
guys for real.
Boris Dehls, yeah. He's like
Somebody
Kyle
also
Anderson.
said Joe Johnson. We can't forget about Joe Johnson.
He said Joe Johnson.
Yeah, I said Joe Johnson.
Pardon me.
Come on, Riv.
My bad. All right.
Now Boris
First
Dehls,
legend,
he's
Boris
legendary.
Yeah. Boris funny as hell. He was so big, but he moved so quick.
Facts. Yo, he would have if he played in this, he would have definitely signed with the Golden State Warriors.
Oh yeah, that's his game right there.
Yeah,
Just like
he
that.
He would have been a Warrior.
Either them or the Spurs again.
Facts.
Just
Yeah.
like that.
So John, you have this trivia for us.
I do. We're talking about Phoenix Suns before. Now we've got Chris Paul. Chris Paul's 11,000 assists for his career. Can you guys name the top 5 players he has assisted the most through 17 seasons?
So what we going?
DeAndre Jordan.
Blake Griffin is
DeAndre
one.
Jordan
Blake.
would be number 4.
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin is number 1.
I'm going with David West. He has to
David
be
West
top
is
3.
number 2.
JJ Redick.
JJ is number 3. Now we have number 5.
I'm so good at what I do.
Devin Booker.
Tyson Chandler.
Devin Booker is number 9. Tyson Chandler is number 7. This
Wait,
is
we
a
got
Jazz
one-
Athletic, by the way.
We
from
got one
their
spot
future.
left.
We have number 5 left. And number 6.
DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton is not in the top 10.
James Poisey.
Nope.
Peja Stojakovic.
Oh, that's a good one.
Stojakovic is number 5.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, watch out for my boy Andrea Stojakovic going to Stanford next year. McDonald's
Yeah.
American. That's my
No,
dog.
he one of them ones.
Yeah.
So recap the top 5, John. Who's the top 5?
The 5 players CP is assisted. So the 5 players Chris Paul has assisted the most in his career. Number 1, Blake. 2, David West. 3, JJ Redick. 4, DeAndre Jordan. And number 5, Peja Stojakovic. And Chandler's number 7.
Yo, PB.
Is Capella top 10?
He is not.